We have a backstage pass to Suncharmers gig supporting Crystal Tides at their hometown in Kent, Tunbridge Wells. Tunbridge Wells. You guys, in your style on your website and on Google as well, it's described your genre as like quite 70s and I wouldn't say older, but that more classic rock sound. Sort of people like Led Zeppelin and all that. Are they a huge influence to you guys' the sound and what you choose to perform and play, or is it more of a you've just sort of built your own style up?
It's thank you. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone else, but Led Zeppelin. Okay, I'll speak on Dan's behalf. He can't think for himself. But yeah, I mean, Led Zeppelin in particular was like a big influence, as well as, I mean, I know we say 70s, but I've always been like quite a big fan of the Kinks as well, and I kind of think that our songwriting style is a little bit more like that, in that kind of older sort of style. And I say older, but it's like, you know, 60s, 70s is kind of, it had everything, right? It's got like a style, it's got kind of power, and it's got just great songwriting that you don't really see very often. And it's not like that we're trying to actively do that, it's just it kind of comes out that way. And yeah, and here we are. That's sort of my take on it. I don't know about you lads. What do you think, Josh?
Well, I think, you know, you talk about Led Zeppelin. I think a lot of that stuff is probably we all grew up on. Is that fair to say? I think that sticks with you through your life, which is probably why we're still kind of chasing that now, really. Because I remember as a kid air guitaring to all the Led Zeppelin tunes, but yeah, I think it just sticks with you, really. Here we are, still trying to kind of, you know, looking up to those heroes of ours. So, anything else to add, Michael, Dan?
2 words: John Bonham.
On topic of the 70s style, like the way you're dressed, you obviously present yourself in a more unique way, more like 70s style. What would you say about your outfits?
It's a 10 out of 10 every day. Actually, I hate what I'm wearing today. This is just purely, it's summer vibes. I've got the legs out, and that's like a rock and roll no-no. I will not be having the legs out for the show, as I said to you boys earlier. But it's just, I've got to keep cool today, you know, until at least we're on stage and we're allowed to sweat. Actually, everyone else is fine. It's just me today, and I've lost all my pairs of sunglasses. So I've got these, and I daren't wear them because of the association of looking like a silly boy. Can we swear on this or not? Oh yeah, just looking like a fucking idiot, basically. But we take our style like not seriously, but I mean it's just like you want to look like want to look presentable, right? And you want to feel like you are yourself. And so I try and personally dress in like nice looking shirts and stuff that's fun and a little bit like sassy, I guess, and whatever, man. It's kind of comes across a bit 70s, I guess, but yeah, I'm rambling now. Ramble on.
I'm all here for it.
I was gonna say, it's almost like this like style and your image is how you present yourself is a part of the music. Because obviously when you go on stage, before you even start playing, people are looking at you, and that's their first judgment of you. So, it could almost be a reflection of how you guys are trying to present yourselves to other people, if that makes sense.
In the Mood for Love, that you released it a couple months ago, your latest single. Tell us about it. Is there a story behind it?
I promise you I do not have as big an ego as it comes across right now. In the Mood for Love, yeah, it kind of does and kind of doesn't. So, in terms of the song and the music itself, I wanted to write something that was like riff heavy and had the same kind of like Led Zeppelin style, specifically immigrant song. So you know, you got that dun 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 thing. So I wanted to write something around that, and that's how the music was kind of born. And then lyrically, it's more stream of consciousness than like anything else that I kind of write. But I kind of went down this route of like a loose theme of it kind of being about budding romance and comparing that to like horror films and things like that. So there's a few references to like American Werewolf in London and things like that. Very, very loose, you know. But I kind of thought that was quite an interesting sort of juxtaposition, you know. kind of funny, you know. But it's more stream of consciousness than anything else. And also, I mean, the title "In the Mood for Love" is the title of a film by a man called Wong Kar-wai, which is brilliant. And I wanted to start writing about that kind of thing and be a little bit more romantic. And then I just went down the horror route. So that's that song, everybody. Go and enjoy it.
It is one of your, well, I don't know what's the word. It's your quickest rising, I'd say, because it's the top on Spotify at the moment.
We don't spend all day looking at our stats on Spotify. Sorry to disappoint.
It seems so ingenuous.
I know it really did, but that genuinely is the case. We don't kind of obsess over ourselves in that sort of way. We're normal people, really.
Would you say there's almost a story behind most of the songs you write, especially in this case with, like you said, the horror thing taking over with it? And is that just the case for all your music, or just specific tracks?
I wouldn't necessarily say story. So I'm not very good at you get these really fantastic lyricists and poets, and who they can weave a story within it, and there's a whole narrative and stuff. Jarvis Cocker does that a lot. Pete Doherty does it a lot, and they're amazing. But I'm not really good at that. So what I sort of tend to do is I kind of write around like a feeling or a mood or an insecurity, and that's kind of the general theme of it. It's a little bit bleak sometimes, right? And I try and sort of articulate how I'm feeling and how I would like to address an issue and things like that, just in the least direct way possible, because that's just how I kind of feel like expressing myself lyrically, And that sounds a bit kind of convoluted and stuff, but to kind of to circle back. So for example, like Trick of the Light is about feeling out of place when you're kind of going clubbing in like modern terms. Like not going to a bar and seeing a band, nothing like that. When you're going clubbing and trying to find an enjoyment in it that other people do, which I don't, which I know Josh doesn't. Dan probably does. You love a club.
I like dancing, but I don't like clubs. Like, if you took me to like a salsa place or not salsa the food, like the salsa, like the dance, or something with like live Latin music, something like that. I would absolutely love to dance.
That's not the point though, is it? Like we're talking about club.
Yeah, and I'm saying I like to dance, but not in a club.
Okay, well, yeah.
Dan definitely got some mean shape.
We were in Manchester a couple of weeks ago playing a show, and we went out in Gay Village, and we had a great time. Josh unfortunately wasn't there, but it was me, Paulie, and
It's a region of Manchester for those who don't know.
Gay Village was wicked actually. I digress massively. We have all digressed. Sorry, but yeah. So that's about kind of not feeling in place, like when you're in a club sort of setting, and kind of feeling like the anxiety as a result of that. And Improve You Wrong, the other one that we've released after that, was more kind of a little bit of it's like self-therapy in a way. Like I kind of have a love-hate relationship with my own voice and the way it sounds, and I kind of wrote from the perspective of someone who also hated my voice, and basically it sort of grew from that, and then so those are the kind of stories I sort of write about. They're not narratives, they're just sort of feelings and moods and
commentaries.
Commentaries of what's happening around you. Like that's quite a common thing in songwriting. Instead of, like you said about the thing with your voice, take a personal issue and then discuss it in like the way that you know how. Because I mean, look, who can make fun of you if you make fun of yourself? That's what they're saying, isn't it? So I wasn't saying that to like, but I was just wondering. So obviously, you guys, you're about to in about an hour's time, you're going to take the stage here, play to what is expected to be a relatively big crowd. It's a hot day as well, which is going to make it all the more fun. Is there any pre-show routines or anything you do on stage to sort of capture people's attention, or just anything behind the scenes as well? What goes on?
I do like to listen to music before and just sort of get in my own head, and just to sort of relax. I like to relax. I like to tap out on my legs with my sticks. Sort of have a little practice, make sure that my muscles are moving. But yeah, just listen to music, just enjoy myself before the show, because otherwise you're stressing out before your show. If you're not doing anything, you're just sitting down waiting, stressing yourself out. You're not gonna perform well.
What sort of music can we expect you to be listening to before a show then?
It could range from anything. Probably today, I'm gonna put on some Ella Fitzgerald, just to relax myself. But I might put on Foo Fighters or Queens of the Stone Age, just to channel my Dave Grohl energy. So this I'm working.
Is there anything like individually for you, either of you guys?
I really should warm up because I get a little bit frazzled on the first song or two and inevitably make some sort of mistake, either vocally or on the guitar. But I think we're just like little giddy kids, to be honest, before we go on. Dan is doing the right thing and he's actually preparing himself for the matter at hand. At least, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think me and Paul do. We just kind of piss around and then go on stage, play a gig, and then piss around some more. Yeah. So yeah, that's me.
I just sort of wait for it to start, and then I play, and that's about it.
Just turn up, walk in, we're done.
So after today's show, what's next? What can we expect? Maybe new music, gigs, tour potentially.
So we've been working very hard in the studio. If I think I can speak for all of us and say that. We recorded 2 tracks down in beautiful Hastings, and they should be with you in July. One of them should be with you in July. Can I say what it is?
You can say what it is. Why not?
It's called What's Not to Like, everyone. Get your ears wrapped around that title, all right? Yeah, we had a great time recording in the studio. Me and Paul, on the last day of recording, we were there till like 3:30 in the morning, just like recording like backing vocals and like percussion. And we had like work at like 7, and it was hard work, but also it doesn't feel like work because we're just loving it, and we're in the flow. And we had a lovely producer called Kev, and I hope you see this and know how much a good time we had with him. Yeah, we had a great time. The song was called What's Not to Like. It's very, I think, like a euphoric song. And it's like, it feels, how would you describe it?
Probably euphoric, I guess.
Awfully euphoric, really.
It kind of is very euphoric. I'd say.
Oh, there you go. What's Not to Like? Very euphoric, everyone.
The song is pretty euphoric from what I've gathered. So if you like being happy, you're going to want to listen to the song. So would you guys say that this is sort of, you've taken the time to polish this as much as it can, you want it in its finest form, you're leaving no stone unturned when it comes to it? Not that you wouldn't anyway in a studio, but obviously you turn it up till 3:30. That's pretty big dedication. So is it one of those things where you just want to make sure that it's as perfect as can be?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the thing is, you like that with every single like song you record. You want it to be the best, and you will put loads of effort in. And luckily, Kev, the producer, is someone who is up for staying as late as you need to get it done. I mean, we love it. We think it's great. But the thing is, with bands and artists, the latest thing you've done is always the thing you love the most. And then it gets a little bit older, and you think, I wish we'd done that, or I wish we'd done that. But for now, we think it sounds pretty damn good.